Today we are going to discuss about bone tissue or osseous tissue. Study of bone is called osteology. Bones are derived from mesoderm. Bones are derived from mesoderm. There are three types of cells present in bones. First one is osteoblast. Osteoblast cells. There are three types of cells in bone. Osteoblast. And second one, osteocytes. And third one is osteoclast. Osteocytes, osteoclast, and osteoblast. Osteoblast produce the bone cells. After the formation of bone cells, they become inactive. Those cells are called osteocytes. Osteoblasts are active, osteocytes are inactive. What is the function of osteoblast? Osteoblasts are useful for the mineralization of bone. Mineralization of bone. Osteoblast. Osteocytes are the inactive cells present inside the lacunae of the bone. Lacunae is the space in which osteocytes are present. And third type of cells are osteoclast. Osteoclasts are the bone cells which are useful for the resorption of bone. Resorption of bone means demineralization of bones. Demineralization of bones. What is the function of osteoblast? Mineralization of bones. Mineralization of bones. That means bones contain calcium and phosphate. What is the function of osteoclast? Demineralization of the bones or resorption of the bones. These are the three types of cells present in the bones. And coming to classification of bones based on their structure. Structural classification are types of bones based on the structure and formation. First one is formation. Type of bone. Cartilaginous bones. Cartilage bones are investing. Cartilage bones are replacing bones or endochondral bones. Endochondral bones. Cartilage bones or endochondral bones are replacing bones. These bones are formed from or ossification in the cartilage. Ossification in cartilage. That means cartilage is converted into bone. That type of bones are called cartilaginous bones. Example for cartilaginous bones. Example, definition and type of bones. Type 1, cartilaginous bones or endochondral bones are replacing bones. Formation, ossification of cartilage. Definition, formation. Example, limbs, bones of the limbs, girdles and vertebrae. Limbs, girdles and vertebrae. These are the cartilaginous bones or endochondral bones or replacing bones. The second one is investing bones. Investing bones or membranous bones. Investing bones or membranous bones or dermal bones. dermal bones. These bones are formed from or ossification of membranes. Ossification of membranes. Different membranes unite to form the or ossified to form the investing bones or membranous bones or dermal bones. Example, most of the cranial bones are investing bones are investing bones or membranous bones or dermal bones. And third type of bones are sesamoid or sesamoid bones. Sesamoid bones are the ossification of ossification of tendons is called sesamoid bones. Example for a sesamoid bones: kneecap. Scientific name is patella. Common name kneecap. K-N-E, kneecap. K-N-E, kneecap. Patella, kneecap. And fourth one is cartilaginous bones, investing bones, sesamoid bones. And last one, sesamoid bones, ossification of tendon, that is sesamoid bones. And some of the bones formed from the soft tissues. The type of bones are called visceral bones. Soft tissue, ossification of soft tissues. Example or location. Visceral bones. Example for visceral bones. Number 1, os cordis. Os cordis present in the ruminants of the mammals. And os pennis also present in the ruminants, bats, etc. So soft bones, ossification of soft tissues, that type of bones are called visceral bone. Sesamoid bones, tendon, ossification of tendon. What is tendon? Tendon is the connection between bone and skeletal muscle. These are the classification of types of bones based on their formation. And coming to types of bones based on their structure. That means structural classification of bones. There are 2 types of bones in structural classification. What are the 2 types of bones? Number 1, spongy bones. Number 2, compact bones. Spongy bones contain spongy nature. Spongy bones present at the ending of the bone, that is epiphysis. Epiphysis contain what type of bones? Spongy bones. And compact bone contain trabeculae. So it is called as trabecular bones. So compact bone is the harder than the spongy bones. Spongy bones are softer, compact bones are harder. And coming to structure of compact bone. So this is the bone. Bone is covered by a cartilage called as hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilage present in the bone is called, this is hyaline cartilage, articular articular cartilage. That is articular cartilage. What is articular cartilage? Hyaline cartilage present in the epiphysis. Hyaline cartilage. Below the hyaline cartilage, soft bone. That is, this one is called epiphysis. What is epiphysis? Tip of the bone is called epiphysis. This one also another epiphysis. Epiphysis. This is also ending of the bone. Ending of the bone is called epiphysis. Epiphysis is covered by cartilage, articular cartilage. Between these two epiphysis, diaphysis. This is diaphysis or shaft. Long or middle part of the bone is called diaphysis. Inside the bone, a cavity is present. This is bone marrow cavity. This is the bone marrow cavity. Cavity of the bone is called bone marrow cavity. Bone marrow cavity. Bone marrow cavity. This is compact bone. This is compact. This part between two layers. Here also. This is compact bone. This is the hardest part of the bone. Outermost layer of the bone is called. This is outermost layer. Periosteum. Periosteum. This is the innermost layer of the bone. This is endosteum. What are the two layers? Periosteum and endosteum. Between these two layers, this part of the bone is called compact bone. Compact bone. In growing bones, between epiphysis and diaphysis, here a space is present called metaphysis. This is metaphysis. Metaphysis. Growing bones, metaphysis is present. In metaphysis, a plate is present called epiphyseal plate. Epiphyseal plate. This epiphyseal plate in adult replaced by epiphyseal sutures or line. Epiphyseal line. In adult line. In growing bones, epiphyseal plate. These epiphyseal plates are useful for the lengthening of the bone or elongation of the bone. Elongation of the bone. So what is the function of epiphyseal plates? They are useful for the elongation of the bone. At certain age or certain level, these epiphyseal plates are replaced by epiphyseal lines. Hence, they does not undergo elongation. That means height is or lengthening of the bone is stopped. So that is the most important one in bones. And coming to structure of compact bone, outermost layer of the bone is, this is periosteum. Periosteum. This is periosteum. Innermost layer of the bone is called endosteum. This is endosteum. Endosteum. This part. Periosteum and endosteum. Below the periosteum, bone lamellae are present. These are the bone lamellae. These are also bone lamellae. There are different types of bone lamellae. They are called as, these are outer circum. pharyngeal, outer circumferential lamellae. These are inner circumferential lamellae. What are the two types of lamellae? Outer circumferential lamellae, inner circumferential lamellae. Outer circumferential lamellae present beneath the, this is periosteum, beneath the periosteum. What is the position of outer circumferential lamellae beneath the periosteum? What is the position of inner circumlamellae, inner circumferential lamellae? Covers the endosteum. Inner circumferential lamellae covers the endosteum. This is bone marrow cavity. Bone marrow cavity. In coming to remaining part between periosteum and endosteum, structural and functional units are present. They are known as, these are the structural and functional units of bone. They are called Haversian systems. These are the Haversian systems. What are Haversian systems? Haversian systems are the structural and functional unit of bone. So this is Haversian system. Haversian system or osteon. Haversian system or osteon. Haversian system or osteon is the structural and functional unit of bone. Between these Haversian systems, another type of lamellae are present. These are the another type of lamellae between Haversian systems. They are known as interstitial lamellae. Interstitial lamellae. What are the three types of lamellae? Outer circumferential lamellae, inner circumferential lamellae, interstitial lamellae. What is the position of outer circumferential lamellae? Beneath the periosteum. What is the position of inner circumferential? Above the endosteum. Below the or beneath the periosteum, above the endosteum. What is the position of interstitial lamellae? Between the Haversian systems. Haversian system is the structural and functional unit of bone. What is the structural and functional unit of bone? Haversian system. Haversian system consists of Haversian system consists of Haversian canal, bone lamellae, lacunae, and canaliculi. So this is the Haversian canal. Haversian canal contain artery, vein, and lymph vessel. Artery, vein, lymph vessel, and nerve. This is the nerve. Artery, vein, lymph vessel, and nerve. This is Haversian canal. It is surrounded by, Haversian canal is surrounded by minimum 4 concentric rings. These are the concentric rings. Minimum 4 concentric rings. Each ring is called lamellae. Each ring is called lamellae. This is Haversian canal. Bone lamellae contain spaces. They are called, these spaces are called Bone lamellae contain spaces. They are known as lacunae. What are lacunae? Spaces are called lacunae. Each lacunae contain one osteocyte. One osteocyte. Osteocyte. In case of cartilage, each lacunae contain 1 to 8 chondroblasts. In case of bone, each lacunae contain only one osteocyte. These lamellae are connected by and the connection between lamellae, lacunae and canaliculi. These are the connections. These connections are called canaliculi. Connections are called canaliculi. Canaliculi. Canaliculi connect the canaliculi. Canaliculi. The connection between Haversian canal to lamellae. Lamellae to lamellae. Lacunae plus lamellae. Lacunae plus lamellae. Lamellae plus lacunae. Lacunae, lacunae. Lamellae, lamellae. Lacunae, lamellae. That is the canaliculi. This is one eversion system. Another eversion system. This is another eversion system. Next eversion system. These are the eversion systems. Eversion system contain central canal called as eversion canal. It is surrounded by minimum 4 concentric rings. They are called bone lamellae. This is another eversion system. Two eversion systems are connected by Walkman's canal. Walkman canal is equal to connection between eversion system plus eversion system, or eversion canal of eversion system plus eversion canal of another eversion system. Two eversion systems are connected by Walkman canals. That is about structure of eversion system or osteon. Eversion system also called as osteon. Osteon is the structural and functional unit of bone, consists of eversion canal. Each eversion canal contains artery, vein and lymph vessel, also nerve. It is surrounded by minimum 4 concentric rings. They are called as bone lamellae. Lamellae contain spaces are called lacunae. Each lacunae contains one osteocytes and connections are canaliculi. Two eversion canals are connected, systems are connected by Walkman canals. That is about structure and functional unit of bone. That is eversion system or osteon. And lastly, bone consists of, this is the bone. Bone consists of inorganic substances and organic substances. Inorganic and organic substances. Percentage of inorganics, 65% inorganic and remaining 35% organic substances. 35 organic. Organic substances are collagen substances or collagen fibers. Inorganic substances are calcium and phosphates. These calcium and phosphates, they are in the form of crystal that is called hydroxyapatite. What is hydroxyapatite? Calcium and phosphorus. It is in the form of, they are in the form of A crystal is called hydroxyapatite. What is the formula for hydroxyapatite? Ca10 PO4 6 times OH twice. This is the formula of hydroxyapatite. As age increases, bones become brittle. Why? Because inorganic substances are increases and organic substances are decreases. As a result, bones become brittle. Bones become brittle. And coming to last one, when the bones kept in a dilute HCl, they become soft. Why? Because inorganic substances are dissolved in the HCl. They have only organic substances, that is collagen fibers, hence they are soft. That is about bone tissue or osseous tissue. And coming to next one, fluid connective tissue. Structural and functional unit of bone is ostia. Supporting tissue consists of cartilage and bone. Supporting tissue consists of cartilage and bone. There are 4 types of connective tissues. Connective tissue proper, and second one is supporting tissue or skeletal tissue, consists of cartilage and bone. And third one is fluid connective tissue. Fluid connective tissue. This is fluid connective tissue. Fluid connective tissue consists of fluid connective tissue consists of blood and lymph. Fluid connective tissue consists of blood and lymph. Study of blood is called hematology. What is hematology? It is the study of blood. Blood consists of plasma and formed elements. Blood consists of plasma and formed elements. 55% plasma and remaining 45% formed elements. There are 3 types of formed elements. Plasma consists of 92% water and 8% solutes. Solutes are albumin, globulin and gases are O2, CO2 and O2. Whenever the albumin concentration decreases or falls, accumulation of tissue fluid takes place. That condition is called edema. What is edema? Accumulation of tissue fluid in the tissues. Why? Because level of the albumin in plasma decreases. That condition is called edema. Globulins act as a antibodies. Globulin act as a antibodies. Globulin proteins. pH of plasma 7.2. In general 7.2. And coming to formed elements, there are 3 types of formed elements. Erythrocytes and leukocytes, and last one is thrombocytes or platelets. platelets. There are three types of formed elements. Erythrocytes. Erythrocytes also called as RBC. Leukocytes also called as WBC. Thrombocytes also called as platelets. Platelets. First one. In general, process of formation of production of blood is called hemopoiesis. Hemopoiesis or erythropoiesis. Hemopoietic organs. Blood production takes place in the yolk sac, mesoderm. So yolk sac mesoderm act as a first hemopoietic organ. Hemopoietic organ. What are hemopoietic organs? Organs which produce the blood. Those organs are called hemopoietic organ. In early embryonic stage, yolk sac mesoderm act as a hemopoietic organ. Then next place, liver. In embryonic stage, liver also act as a hemopoietic organ. After liver, spleen act as a hemopoietic organ. In early embryonic stage, yolk sac mesoderm. In embryonic stage, liver and spleen. They are temporary hemopoietic organs. In adult stage, red bone marrow. Red bone marrow is the hemopoietic organ. What is the hemopoietic organ in adult? Red bone marrow is the hemopoietic organ. Means blood cells production takes place in the red bone marrow. Process of production of erythrocytes is called erythropoiesis. Process of production of erythrocytes is called erythropoiesis. Process of production of leukocytes, leukopoiesis. Poiesis means production. Process of production of thrombocytes, thrombopoiesis. And second one, increase the number of erythrocytes is called erythrocytosis. Erythrocytosis that leads to polycythemia. Increase the number of leukocytes is called leukocytosis. Increase the number of thrombocytes, thrombocytosis. And next point, coming to decrease the number of erythrocytes. Decrease the number of erythrocytes is called erythrocytopenia. Here leukocytopenia. Here thrombocytopenia. Penia means decrease the number of cells. Poiesis means production. Cytosis means increase. Penia means decrease the number of. And coming to number of erythrocytes. In male, there are 5 million in mm³. In females, 4.5 million. 4.5. Number of leukocytes, 6,000 to 10,000. 6,000 to 10,000 are 1 mm³. Number of thrombocytes or platelets, 2,50,000 to 4,50,000 are mm³ blood. That is about number. Next, lifespan. Lifespan of RBC, 120 days. Lifespan of leukocytes, few months. Lifespan of thrombocytes, 6 to 9 days. 6 to 9 days lifespan of thrombocytes. That is about a comparative study of erythrocytes, leukocytes and thrombocytes. And coming to erythrocytes, in the case of mammals, Erythrocytes does not contain nucleus. So nucleus is absent, enucleate. In some of the mammals contain nucleate. Next, erythrocytes name the vitamins necessary for the maturation of erythrocytes. B12 vitamin and folic acid. Folic acid. B12 and folic acids are necessary for the maturation of erythrocytes. Rowlax arrangement of erythrocytes in a row is called Rowlax. Rowlax is the arrangement of erythrocytes. Next, color of the erythrocytes red due to the presence of hemoglobin. RBC contain hemoglobin. Hemoglobin consists of iron. Iron containing hemoglobin. There are each hemoglobin consists of 4 polypeptide chains. 2 alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, beta 2. Number of polypeptide chains in each hemoglobin 4. Each polypeptide chain carries 1 oxygen molecule. So each hemoglobin carries maximum 4 oxygen molecules. 4 oxygen molecules. That is about erythrocytes or RBC. And coming to last and final, whenever the oxygen concentration decreases, immediately kidney secretes the hormone called as erythropoietin. Name the hormone secreted by the kidney. Erythropoietin. What is the function of erythropoietin? Stimulates the production of RBC in the bone marrow. So whenever the oxygen concentration or oxygen supply decreases in our body, immediately kidney secretes a hormone called as erythropoietin. This erythropoietin stimulates the bone marrow, then bone marrow increase the production of RBC. That is about RBC. And coming to leukocytes or WBC. Leukocytes or WBC. WBCs are again divided into 2 types, granulocytes and agranulocytes. Based on the presence or absence of granules, leukocytes are again divided into 2 types, WBC or leukocytes or WBC, again divided into 2 types. What are the 2 types of granulocytes? Granulocytes and agranulocytes. Agranulocytes. Granulocytes and agranulocytes. Then granulocytes are again divided into 3 types. Basophils, acidophils, and neutrophils. Basophils, acidophils, neutrophils. Granulocytes are again divided into 2 types. Monocytes and lymphocytes. So what are the different types of granulocytes? Basophils, acidophils, neutrophils. What are the 2 types of granulocytes? Monocytes and lymphocytes. Common one. Percentage of basophils 0.4%. Percentage of acidophils 2.3%. Percentage of 62% neutrophils. Percentage of monocytes 5.2%. Lymphocytes 30%. approximately the percentage. These percentages are different in NCERT textbook. According to Telugu Academy textbook, these percentages. Basophils. Basophils are staying with basic dyes. These are acidic dyes. Acidophils staying with acidic dyes. Neutrophils staying with neutral dyes. Coming to nucleus. Basophils irregular nucleus. This is the basophil, and this one is acidophil, and this one is neutrophil. Nucleus in irregular in shape. Irregular nucleus in basophils. Bilobed nucleus in bilobed nucleus. This is bilobed nucleus. Bilobed nucleus in case of acidophils. Irregular nucleus in case of basophils. Neutrophils. Multi-lobed nucleus. Multi-lobe means 2 or more lobes. In general, 2 to 5 lobes. Number of lobes. 2 to 5 lobes in neutrophils. This one is bilobed nucleus. Irregular nucleus in basophils. Bilobed nucleus in acidophils. Multi-lobe 2 to 5 lobes in or many lobes in case of neutrophils. Coming to monocytes. Monocytes are the largest blood cells. These are the largest blood cells. Monocytes are the largest blood cells. Monocyte contain reniform nucleus. Reniform nucleus means kidney-shaped nucleus. This is kidney-shaped nucleus. Shape of the nucleus in the monocyte, kidney shape. Kidney-shape or reniform nucleus. Kidney-shaped nucleus in case of monocyte. Largest cell in the blood, largest blood cell, monocyte. And lymphocytes in which largest nucleus, complete cell is occupied by nucleus. So largest nucleus containing blood cells are lymphocytes. These are the largest nucleus. Largest nucleus, that is spherical nucleus. Largest nucleus, lymphocytes. Kidney-shaped nucleus, monocytes. Largest blood cell, monocyte. And coming to basophils. Basophils act as internal scavengers. Phagocytes. Internal scavengers, phagocytes. Basophils secretes heparin and histamine. Heparin is the anticoagulant, histamine is the vasodilator. These are the parts of mast cells. Mast cell secretes heparin, histamine, bradykinin, and serotonin. That is about basophils. And coming to acidophils. Acidophils plays an important role in allergic reactions. These acidophils remove the antigen and antibody complexes. What is the function of acidophils? Remove the antigen antibody complexes. When now the number increase the number of acidophils causes a disease called as eosinophilia or eosinophilia. Increase the number of acidophils causes a disease called as eosinophilia or acidophilia. Coming to neutrophils. Neutrophils are mainly phagocytes, so they are called microscopic policemen. Microscopic policemen are neutrophils in phagocytosis. In some of the neutrophils of the females contain a special structure in attaches to the nucleus is drumstick body. This is drumstick, only present in females. Drumstick body or chromatin. That is about neutrophils, phagocytic in function. And coming to monocytes. What is the function of monocytes? Monocytes also called as macrophages. Macrophages. Monocytes present in the blood, monocytes. Monocytes present in the blood, monocytes. Tissue macrophages. There are two types of macrophages. They are histiocytes and wandering macrophages. Tissue fixed one is histiocytes. Movable ones are wandering macrophages. Monocytes are mononuclear phagocytes. Mononuclear phagocytes. Granulocytes are commonly called as polymorphonuclear phagocytes. Agranulocytes are commonly called as mononuclear phagocytes. Lymphocytes and monocytes. So what is the function of lymphocytes? Lymphocytes are again divided into two types, B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes plays an important role in immunity. B lymphocytes causes humoral immunity. T lymphocytes causes cell-mediated immunity or cellular immunity. Cell-mediated immunity or cellular immunity. Which are the following blood cells plays an important role in immunity? Lymphocytes. That is about lymphocytes, granulocytes and agranulocytes. And last one is, what are the three types of cells are formed elements? Erythrocytes are RBC, and the second one is white blood cells are leukocytes, and third one is thrombocytes or platelets. Thrombocytes or platelets. In mammals, platelets, other than mammals, they are commonly called as thrombocytes. These thrombocytes plays an important role in thrombocytes or platelets. Platelets plays an important role in blood coagulation. Blood coagulation. Whenever the blood vessels are slightly injured, immediately platelets form a plug called as platelet plug. Platelet plug, which closes the injury. So platelets plays an important role in the blood coagulation. Platelets also secretes thromboplastin that plays an important role in blood coagulation. Fluid connective tissue consists of blood and lymph. Blood consists of plasma and formed elements. Formed elements are three types: RBC, WBC, and platelets. So that is about blood. And coming to lymph, and last one is lymph. Lymph. What is lymph? This is the blood vessel. While blood flowing through the blood vessel, largest blood vessel is aorta. 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 This is the largest blood vessel. Aorta gives branches. These branches are called arteries. These are the arteries. Arteries gives branches. Those are called. This is artery. So aorta. This one is artery. Artery gives arterioles. Branches are arterioles. Arterioles gives small blood vessels called as capillaries. These are the capillaries. capillaries. These capillaries unite to form the another blood vessel. These are capillaries. Capillaries unite to form the venules. Venules unite to form the veins. These are the veins. Veins unite to form the vena cava. These are vena cava. Once again I repeat, blood flows from aorta to artery to arterioles, from the arterioles capillaries. This is capillary network present in the tissues. From the capillaries, venules. From the venules, veins. From the veins, vena cava. While blood flowing through the aorta, artery and arterioles, at the end of the arteriole, that is arteriolar ending, here due to hydrostatic pressure, some of the substances enter into the tissue by a process called as diapedesis. The substances are called ECF. This is called ECF, extracellular fluid. This is ECF, extracellular fluid. This ECF, most of the ECF directly enter into the blood. Very few amount of, that is 85% of the ECF directly enter into the blood, and remaining 15% of the blood also enter into the blood by a 15% by a special system called as lymphatic system. This is lymphatic system. Most of the ECF directly enter into the blood, and very few amount of ECF also enter into the blood. Soon also blood through a system called as lymphatic system. That means the amount of ECF, this one also ECF. The amount of ECF that flows through the lymphatic system, this ECF is called lymph. What is lymph? The amount of ECF that flows through the lymphatic system is called ECF. That means ECF and lymph. ECF and lymph. All lymph is ECF. But all ECF is not a lymph. All the lymph is ECF, but all ECF is not a lymph. So what is the difference between lymph and plasma and serum? Lymph, plasma and serum. In lymph, plasma proteins are less in number. In plasma, more in number. Serum, plasma proteins are absent. Due to the presence of less amount of plasma proteins, lymph can clot slowly. Plasma can clot quickly. Why? Because more number of plasma proteins in plasma. Serum does not clot. Why? Because absence of plasma proteins. So lymph, plasma and serum. What is serum? Serum is equal to plasma minus plasma proteins. Serum is equal to plasma minus plasma proteins. What is lymph? Lymph is equal to plasma with less number of plasma proteins. Less number of plasma proteins. That is about lymph. Capillaries, lymph capillaries and lymph vessels and lymph ducts and lymph sinuses and lymph glands and lymph organs. These unite to form a system called as lymphatic system. It is alternate route for the nutrients, to the different organs. That is about lymphatic system. There are different types of lymphoid organs, primary lymphoid organs and secondary lymphoid organs. Okay. For example, tonsils are the lymphoid organs. Tonsils are the secondary lymphoid organs. Appendix also a secondary lymphoid organ. Abdominal tonsils are appendix. Bone marrow and spleen. Bone marrow is the primary lymphoid organ. Thymus gland, primary lymphoid organ. Spleen and others are MALT, M-A-L-T, mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. This secondary lymphoid organ. It covers 80% of the lymphatic organs. Mucosa associated lymphoid organs present in digestive tract, respiratory tract and excretory tract. That is about lymph.